Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Full Movie Podcast. I'm Freya.
And I'm Matt.
And this is a place where we just shoot the breeze about movies we've enjoyed. It's not a review cast.
No, there's no news. There's no, hey, this film's about to be made. No, this is just a film we like.
It's chit-chat.
Yeah.
It's chit-chat. So, Matt, what film are we talking about this week?
Well, we are going to be discussing a film of my youth. Last week we did The Princess Bride, which is your favourite film. I'm doing a film which, when I was a kid, this was all I cared about. You know, I used to try and dress like the main characters. I wanted to be the main characters. I used to quote from the film. That's right. We are doing the 1985 classic, The Breakfast Club.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit young for this to be a film of my youth, so why don't you tell us some of the facts?
Okay, so The Breakfast Club was written and directed by John Hughes. I actually only found out this today. I thought he directed loads of films. Nope, only directed 8 films.
Wow.
But he did write things like Mr. Mum, The Great Outdoors, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, European Vacation, and just Standard Vacation. Mm-hmm. He wrote Home Alone, and he also wrote Miracle on 34th Street. He's genius, and he sadly passed in 2009.
Right.
But his work, it lives on. He's
so many classics.
Yeah.
That everyone knows.
It's really strange because a lot of people you go to, film director or film writer, you go to Spielberg or Tarantino or maybe even these days Nolan or the Russo brothers. John Hughes, he did some amazing films.
Iconic.
Completely unforgettable films,
yeah.
You know. So The Breakfast Club focus on 5 teenagers who go to the high school Shermer, Illinois high school.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
there is no Shermer in Illinois.
There isn't, as Jay and Silent Bob found out. Yeah, I know. There's a film we'll review one day.
There's a reference for you.
So yeah, they have detention each for their own reasons. Flat out, I'll say spoilers. But again,
always spoilers.
Always spoilers. But we are discussing what happens. So these 5 teenagers, there's Claire Standist, who's played by Molly Ringwald. The princess. She's in detention for skipping school to go shopping. You have Andrew Clark, played by Emilio Estevez, the jock.
The jock, yeah.
He was bullying another kid in school, and he used
taped his butt cheeks together.
Yeah, which I'm glad they didn't show that scene. Then you have Brian Johnson, who's played by Anthony Michael Hall, the brain. He brought a flare gun into school, and it went off in his locker. Oof. That's not a euphemism. So then you have Alison Reynolds, who's played by Ali Sheedy. I'm saying Sheedy, not the ITT one. She had nothing better to do. She was just like,
She's the basket case, right?
Yeah. And then you have my hero, John Bender, played by Judd Nelson, who's the
criminal.
There you go. And he pulled a false alarm, which is like the weakest of all the reasons to have a detention.
So he pulled a fire alarm?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, poof.
So, and then you
Who hasn't?
I haven't, actually.
Me neither.
And say, I'm not that cool.
Me neither.
You may think I'm cool, but I just play one on TV. I don't appear on TV.
No, me neither. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's cool to waste the fire department's time.
God, no. That's almost an offence. In fact, if a lawyer is listening, it may be an offence.
I don't know. Probably. I'm pretty sure it is.
An offence.
So, tell us what are some of your favourite bits.
My favourite blub blub blub. Well, any underwater scene. No. So favourite scenes. If I'm completely honest, there isn't many favourite scenes because it is just one film set in one location with basically just teenagers talking. Mm-hmm. The main principle is the fact that they all enter into the detention not knowing each other really.
Yeah.
And then as the film progresses, they're essentially just sizing each other up and going, hey, I don't like that guy. He has long hair. I have short hair. I wrestle. He doesn't. And then it gets to the point where at the end, they understand each other, which I think flat out, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. Favourite scenes? It's Not a favourite scene because it's funny, because it most certainly isn't. But John Bender is ridiculing Brian Johnson, the brain, and he's there going, "Son, yeah, Dad, how's your day?"
Oh yeah, so he's doing his impression of
Brian's home life.
Brian's home life. Yeah.
And then Andrew asks him to recreate his home life, and he does this whole big sweary theatrical rendition of his home life, and like people are like, "Is that really true?" And he's like, "I've got this cigarette burn, you know."
It's a cigar burn, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's just generally everything about it is great. I think
it's the kind of look deeper sort of.
Oh, definitely.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I was saying about John Hughes having written National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and European Vacation and Home Alone. This is a lot more mature and more serious. He did a film called She's Having a Baby. I think that came after, a year or two after Breakfast Club, starring Kevin Bacon. And that film deals with some serious topics. And it's those films that I truly love by John Hughes. The ones which have that serious element. I mean, you've seen Planes, Trains and Automobiles. So at the end of that, when Steve Martin is going back to his home and he's having images flash up of his family, and then he starts thinking of John Candy's characters, and he starts going, maybe I should turn back, you know.
Yeah.
That catches me every time. I do get quite emotional. You know,
for that. The kind of impact of a film that is generally quite frivolous, and then it hits hard with some, you know, some serious stuff, and it makes it, you know, really hit you because you're like, oh,
yeah, exactly.
Oh God. You know.
Even Home Alone has those little tender moments, like when
the
mum comes home, and even the talking to the old man who's supposed to be the murderer, but he's not. He's just a gentle old man.
It's all about, you know, not judging a book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, you know, you gotta see what's under the surface.
Yeah. Let me tell you a couple of facts, just real quick, straight off the bat.
And then I'm gonna tell you my opinion.
Are you?
Yes.
I suppose we should, because this is a podcast where we share opinions.
This is a conversation.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Not all about me. Right. Got ya. So, gotta tell you this fact. This is the most amazing fact that I heard about the Breakfast Club. Originally, it was going to be called The Lunch Bunch.
That sounds terrible.
I know. I was like, wasn't that like a yogurt or something?
Munch Bunch.
Munch Bunch, thank you.
That was a yogurt, yeah.
So yeah, but yes, this was almost called The Lunch Bunch.
Wow.
John Hughes wrote this film in 2 days. That's staggering. Because there's a whole lot of chit-chat in that film. You know, when Alison is like doing her hair and the dandruff's coming out. Yeah, it's a beautiful scene, beautiful moment. And she's drawn a picture, a really good picture, I might add.
Beautiful, and then she makes it snow.
Yeah, makes it snow. That was Parmesan cheese.
Oh, nice.
I know. I love Parmesan cheese.
Delicious.
I mean, if I'm completely honest...
never look at it the same way again.
What, Parmesan or the picture?
Parmesan.
Parmesan. How didn't you just look at Parmesan?
Frequently.
Okay. I love Parmesan. Have you ever tried Marmite on toast with some Parmesan over?
I have not, but I feel I will now.
Yeah, it's a doozy. The Dave Bowie quote at the very start of it, that is from the film, The Song Changes, from the 1971 film Hunky Dory. Album Hunky Dory. David Bowie's done films. He was in Labyrinth.
It's fine.
Prestige.
True.
Is it Prestige? Yeah, it's Prestige. Yeah. So those are some facts. Oh, one other one. I do like this fact. So there's the scene when John Bender is being wrestled to the ground by Andrew Clark. And Andrew's got him pinned down in a wrestling move.
Yeah.
And John Bender like gets up from it and goes, "I'll kill you," you know, sort of thing. And he walks to the back and then he flicks out a knife to seem very threatening, and he slams it into the table. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then he goes chatting, keeps talking. And whilst he's talking, Alison sneakily grabs the knife, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about this? That knife was actually Judd Nelson's.
Oh.
And he used it for, and nobody can see me do the bunny ears quote marks.
Quote marks, yeah.
Protection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's not very violent well, actually, I hope it's not a sexual act of protection, because that's
He uses it to remove his penis before he has sex with anyone.
yeah, that won't create babies at all.
I mean, it won't.
No, definitely won't. And yeah,
But it would be painful.
yeah, very painful. So, my review, it's a good film.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but having, rewatched it, I have seen it before, many years ago, and having rewatched it, my main takeaway is, how in the hell did those kids get away with... They smoke weed,
They had a
play
party.
music, they have a party,
Yeah.
and the principal is like, I don't want to hear a peep out of you.
Yeah, they break the ceiling.
They break the ceiling.
Like, that Carl, the janitor, is going to come along, like,
And be
a
like,
couple of hours
"God-
after the kids
God
have all
damn it."
scallied away. He's going to be like, I'm the janitor.
Yeah.
I like cleaning these halls. Hey, there's a ceiling with a hole in it.
Yeah, so,
Why you-
Judd Nelson's character falls through the ceiling. Just, ridiculous.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm not saying it's a terrible film, but there are bits in it that I think are absolutely ridiculous. My main ridiculous bit is definitely after they are smoking weed,
Yeah.
and Emilio Estevez's character reluctantly joins in. He comes out of what seems to be some kind of hotbox situation.
Yeah.
And rather than being like, hey man, I'm so chill, I think he's been smoking something else. Because he goes,
Was that weed or meth?
yeah, both maybe. PCP, he's got some kind of crap mixed in with that. And he goes bananas and takes off 2 layers and dances around and then screams and makes a window shatter.
Yeah. Which
It's
is a ridiculous scene.
So my conclusion is that it's a very cool movie, but there are some really silly things about it.
I understand that.
But I think I can see that how it would be revolutionary and inspiring for people. It
was a film of its time, and
exactly, and it still stands
for teenagers, for kids, it was like
it still stands up. It's
yeah.
good, and Molly Ringwald is a babe.
So out of Exorcist being good and Exorcist Heretic being bad, what is it?
I'd give it an Exorcist.
Yeah,
yeah,
me too. It's an Exorcist.
Sure.
So, what's going on, Freya? With
so
us?
we've finally set up some social media and whatnot.
Yep.
You can contact us via email at fullmoviepodcast@gmail.com, Twitter @fullmoviepod, Facebook @fullmoviepod, Instagram @fullmoviepodcast. And we're available on Spotify, Deezer, and hopefully soon on Apple Podcast as well.
Yes, we're just waiting for that. But
bear with us. We're
trying.
We're trying. We've got some really amazing help from people in the podcast community.
Yeah, Emma and Dan from Real Life Ghost Stories, Kev from We Need to Talk About Ghosts. Those 3 people are flat out lovely.
They've taken us under their wing, and we cannot thank them enough. So, fantastic podcasts. Please go and check them out.
They're available on everything.
On everything.
If you went to Domino's Pizzas and said, have you got any Real Life Ghost Stories? They'd be like, have we ever?
Exactly. So sprinkle it on there.
Yeah. So, that's it really, ain't it?
That's it from us for now. We'll be back to talk about Clue.
Is that what we're going to do?
That's what we're going to do next time.
Okay. Right on.
Next time we're going to be talking about Clue. So,
okay. So that'll be next Sunday, I think.
Somewhere.
Yeah, sometime. But so thank you, everyone.
That and thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Rate and review us and whatnot wherever you can rate and review us and basically say nice things, please.
Yeah. And join us on social media. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, let's talk film. All right. Toodle pip, guys. Have a lovely time.
Bye.
Bye.